All right, we're back, and we're going to break down Trey Lance. Let's see what the kid has. Let's see what the number 3 overall pick is made of. Yes, it was against the Texans, but you have to think they've been trending in the right direction. They've been giving just some other teams fits, a lot of veteran players who just don't really make the type of mental mistakes that some other teams at the 49ers have taken advantage of during recent weeks. So one thing that I noticed, Lance, and as you saw just on this play right here, he showed that he's not a runner, like he's not a scrambler. When he's outside of the pocket, he keeps his eyes down the field, and that's a good thing. And I thought another thing that he did really well in this game was just avoiding sacks. He turned negative gains into positive gains. What he does have to understand, and that's, you can see it a little bit here, he just needs to understand what NFL open is. So I want to talk about a lot of things that I saw over the course of this game. Plenty of good, man. Really impressed. Only one batted ball, so that was one of the main talking points heading into this game, as you can see there. He does a really good job as well of just running out of sacks, and I mentioned that too. So, again, a lot to like from this game, so let's get into it. So early on, it looked like Lance was a player who hadn't played quarterback in the NFL in 2.5 months. Looked like he was aiming it, just a little tentative, a little jittery, and that's to be expected from a rookie quarterback. So on this throw, nothing major here, but it is a miss. And what he has to do, so you see how he just pulls up right there, he can take another step and keep coming downhill. That way, Kyle Juszczyk catches the ball out in front of him, doesn't have to stop his momentum there. So that was something that was happening a little early on, where when I say tentative, aiming, just a guy who wasn't in rhythm yet. And these are the type of layups that get you into rhythm, but he has to have the proper mechanics, for that to happen. So again, you see it here. He has plenty of time to take one more step. Just do that, and it's incompletion. You see it comes out kind of funky there. Also, you have to remember, like, these guys are juiced up. These guys are jacked up. Again, hasn't played in a while. Is super hyped because of the crowd. So it's understandable, why he had some of the misses early on. But this is another aspect of the 49ers running game that we didn't see a lot. We didn't see nearly as much in this game. The quarterback run play. So designed runs. I believe there's only 8 design runs in the game. And this is just a bash play, counter bash. Both of these guys are going to pull. They're going to act like, so you have Jeff Wilson going in motion, and then you have Debo as the lead. They're going to act as if all of that action is going that way, only for, he has no idea what's going on, for Lance to keep it. So didn't see a lot of it, but as you see, he takes a big hit, and that's probably why. It will get you, I would use Lance in high leverage situations, and we'll get into more of that a little later. All right, so this is a mirrored route. So you have double slants on both sides. And when I say NFL open, this is where Trey Lance just has to pull the trigger. And again, this is early in the game, so he's still getting his feet underneath him. But check it out here. 1, 2, 3. Ball has to be out. Ball should be coming out. You should have your throwing motion ready to pull. Linebacker's probably not going to make this play. Even if you think he is, no problem. We have all kind of space to the top of the screen. You have Kittle, you have Debo. One of these two guys are going to be open. As you can see, he doesn't like what he sees there. Probably just because the linebacker kind of comes underneath. But still, 1, 2, 3, ball should be out. One of these guys. You have to play on time in the NFL, and he did a really nice job of that later on, but not on this play. The good news about this play is instead of panicking, instead of getting flustered, so which he does a little bit, and I can tell because he's moving right now. He's moving in the pocket when there's no pressure. He doesn't panic. He doesn't drop his eyes, and that's what I mean by turning a potential negative into a positive. Keeps his eyes downfield. Now as he resets and he just comes back to the right here, he finds Ayuk, who does a good job of scramble drill, keeps the play alive, and they pick up first down. All right, so the 49ers are going to run their bootleg play, which they live on this play. So Kittle is going to run a slide route, which means he's going to just come from behind the formation and sneak out into the flat here. You're going to have Trent Sherfield running the over route. He is going to be, the second read. Kittle's obviously the first read. And then you have the third layer route right here. So these are the type of plays that are going to make you fall in love with Trey Lance. It comes back to bite him on a 4th down later in the game. But with the variance, the trade-off, you'll take the explosive plays that come with looking down the field as opposed to, check down, check down, check down. So he goes second level over first level here. most of the time, more often than not, you get your head around, you probably would want to go here, even, if you see that DB has leverage or is gaining leverage. What I love here is Lance pump fakes, gets the defender in the air. It almost seems like he knows he wants to go here the whole time because he's wide open. Look at that space, as opposed to most of the time, people are going to either double or take the first level route away. Does not happen here. So pumps the ball, and I'll start it over here. Throws a pump to get the defender in the air, has enough time to reset his feet, and just throws a dart to Sherfield on the second level. That's a first down. That's not something we're used to seeing. And I think it's one thing about the mentality, and this play does tell you a lot about Lance's mentality, where he's comfortable going down the field, and I think that's going to help Shanahan and open up the offense, But what I really like about this play is that, he does the things mechanically that you want to see. So it's one thing to pump it, but he takes the time to reset his feet. I always talk about, this part of your foot, the midline of your foot or the ankle, whatever you want to see. That's going to tell you where the ball is going to go. So he does a good job of resetting his feet. All within the pump fake, so all within like a split second, and then delivers a dart right there to Sherfield for a first down. That's a really nice play. All right, so this is the interception, and it's called leak. Every team, it seems like, has stolen some type of variation from Shanahan. It seems like the 49ers run this play every game, and what it is just as you see, Kittle's going to leak out of the formation from the strong side to the weak side, and he's going to run under. Again, the Texans have a bunch of veterans on defense, and they did a really nice job of just not falling for the 49ers gimmicks, I guess is what you can call this, because it is a trick play, and this is the area from 40 to 40 where Shanahan really likes to take a shot. This is a perfect time to take a shot here, but it's not open. So knowing that, you can't throw this ball. A lot of people will see Debo running wide open, but on this play, here's how the progression goes. So as you can see, and this is every week, you're going to either throw it to Kittle, and when that's not there, you have to throw it here. None of these routes are part of the progression. It goes 1, 2, out of bounds. So knowing how this plays out, I think if you want to be encouraged by anything on this play, it's that he's still throwing with anticipation. So the ball's coming out. Kittle is still running up the field. He probably thinks he can throw it on the inside, like on a line, sort of like a post-up type where George Kittle can just go up and get it. He doesn't look back for the ball, so that's just not going to happen because, we've never really seen that type of play where Lance would be able to throw it, or Jimmy would throw this ball on a line right away. Usually, this defender comes up and takes the flat level route, and he's running wide open because he's going to run with Ayuk. But again, that doesn't happen. Texans sniffed it out. This ball, and Shanahan, not a fan of the decision. As you can see, he puts his hands up, wondering what's going on. This ball has to be in the 10th row or just like at the feet, anywhere. Like throw it in the 10th row of the stands, throw it out of bounds, throw it anywhere else, but it can't go there. Yeah, that's a poor decision. That's just a boneheaded play by a rookie who probably, in practice when they run this every time, he's able to throw it wide open because we haven't really seen defenses stop this. So I think it's really just kudos to the Texans. A poor decision, no doubt about it. Can't make this throw. As you can see, like he's throwing to Kittle the whole way. I would like to see, if anything, if you are going to go to Kittle the whole way right now, look down the middle of the field to try to maybe hold the safeties or give him the illusion that you're going somewhere else. That way, you're staring right at it. So he doesn't have to respect this underneath route from Jeff Wilson. So he's going to continue to carry with Kittle. That's what happens, and that's how it's an interception. Just can't make that play. Throw it out of bounds. Live for another down. All right, so this is the final drive of the first half. This is where I believe Lance kind of woke up. So all it takes is one throw for usually really talented players to get into a rhythm, and this was it for me. Like, all you heard about was this elongated motion, and, he takes too long to get the ball out. I talked about the batted passes. I'll just let this play through, and then I'll rewind it. But you tell me about that motion right there. Is there anything elongated about that? No is the answer you're looking for. Also, so there's zero fat in his footwork. So it should be 1, 2, 3 out, 1, 2, 3, just split second right there. That is about as good as it gets. So you can tell that his processing is speeding up. It helps when there are defined reads like this double slant, and you have Deebo Samuel to throw the ball to. And the double slant, by that I mean both receivers to the top of the screen are going to run a slant. So he has to respect this guy, meaning there's no underneath defender to take away Deebo. So he should be able to go 1, 2, 3 throw. He does that, and obviously things go well when he has a playmaker. But this is the throw in my mind that woke him up. We'll see it from the end zone view. I want you to watch his feet, and then I want you to watch his throwing motion. Just see how efficient both of those are, how his feet are tied with his eyes, and how everything goes fast. That is a really good thing. 1, 2, 3, out. One more time. Doesn't seem like a big deal, but when he's playing on time, this is what the offense should look like because playmakers everywhere. All right, so a couple plays later, still in the 2-minute drill, the Texans live in cover 2. That is what they run more than any coverage, and especially in a 2-minute drill, that's probably what Lovie Smith is going to rely on. So they're running cover 2 to the top of the screen, and I would love to see this trio in a bunch set way more than we've seen. Perhaps Kyle Shanahan's been waiting on it. Maybe we see it more against the Rams. But you have Deebo, you have Kittle, you have Ayuk, and you're going to take that against a 3 or a 4 over 3 every day of the week. So it doesn't matter who you're reading, whether it's the linebacker, whether it's the flat defender, the hang defender, the nickel back, whatever you're going to call him. He is going to tell you what to do, or they are going to tell you where to go with the ball. So cover 2 means he has short. He has just either the hook curl right here, and this defender right here is going to carry one of the vertical routes, whichever number 2 or number 3 are going vertical. So let's watch it play out. Let's watch them first. So flat defender, as you can see, is worried about Deebo, so he hangs underneath. The linebacker, the hook defender, is concerned with Kittle, so he's carrying Kittle. Because of that, he's running return route. He's shallow. He's running down the seam. He's going to actually come into him a little bit, so he has to, honor that route, which means we have a seam from Ayuk, and that is where the ball should go. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, ball's out. And I want to show you when Trey Lance throws this pass, just to know, again, for him to throw with this type of anticipation in his second start in a 2-minute situation is promising. Like, those are the plays we should be taking away, not the deep ball Deebo. Those are the type of plays that are fun, but I think these plays are more just transferable and sustainable, and that's what it's going to take for Trey Lance to be successful in the NFL. So I want to show you one more time here. So that's when he starts to throw the ball. He's still running down the field. He has not looked back. He hasn't even gotten into his route. He's still on the return part of the route, so he's still coming across the field. Ball's coming out. The ball catches Ayuk, and this is how you get big game. And, I mean, great job from Ayuk just getting out of bounds here, but a quarterback makes this play, and it was really impressive. And I believe 37 yards. Explosive plays. That's the name of the game for the 49ers, and that's, if they want to beat the Rams, it'll be because of these type of plays right here. But again, no fatness footwork. Everything's clean. 1, 2, 3, out. On time. First down. All right, so we are into the third quarter now, and this is where Trey Lance you can tell he's kind of feeling himself, or we're starting to gain some confidence, and that's great to see. I mean that as a compliment. So right here, he moves the defense with his eyes. He comes backside to the slant. It seems like he knows where he wants to go the whole time. He does a good job of just manipulating the linebacker. So single high coverage, which means you're probably going to need to move one of these linebackers knowing that you want to go to this backside slant. Again, one of the best routes in football, probably the second best in my mind after a post, just because you're going to have Brandon Ayuk, who is very tough to guard. He's probably better in the slot, and that was true before this game, and I feel like this game proves as much. So let's just watch it out. Let's run the play through. And so right there, this linebacker is going to try to open up, or he's supposed to open up and get to, to try to take away this threat right here. Lance knows that, so he's looking to the right now. And you can see, okay, quarterback's looking to the right. I better open up and go to the right. That's all it takes. Lance looks back to the left, threads the needle. Ayuk does his punt returner things, makes a few guys miss. That's the playmaker in him. And I want to talk about his route again, but I want you to see Lance's eyes and watch how he manipulates this underneath linebacker here. Gets him to open up. Look, he's looking right. Just all he needs to do is get him to open up. Once he flips his hips and opens up, there's no chance of him getting back in time to Ayuk. And of course, he has the arm strength to fit the ball in there, but the play works because of his eyes, not his physical gifts. And that's good. Like, you don't want him relying on his physical tools. You want him to win with his mind. And for Lance to do that, just in the third quarter already, is a really promising sign. And then back to Ayuk, who, he's going to take his game to another level. As soon as he gets the ball, he just needs to be involved. But when you are facing off coverage, catch coverage, you can widen your release, and that's what he does. So Ayuk knows he's running a slant. He doesn't know where he's going. He knows where he's going. By widening his release, instead of just running straight directly at him, he can drift out a little bit, knowing all that's going to do is create more space for you as a receiver. I think Ayuk does a good job of that here. Widens him just enough. 1-2 steps. Big play. Yeah, this is going to be a really dangerous duo. Like, this is going to be the tandem, in my opinion, moving forward. All right, the very next game, first thing you notice, Travis Benjamin's in the game. What does that mean? They are probably going to take a shot. This is probably the only issue that I have with Kyle Shanahan. And when I say that, you just can't be that predictable, knowing that when other teams, I imagine the good teams are going to know, and this has already happened. When he's in the game, it's probably going to be a shot play down the field. So what's going to happen is he's going to run off, run a post, and Sherfield is going to run a deep dig. He is wide open. What happens here is it is a great play by the linebacker, but I think Trey Lance needs to do a better job of throwing it to space and throwing out in front of Trent Sherfield. Instead, it gets tipped. Let's rewind it here. He tries to throw it through the linebacker when he's in your direct path, and you have to acknowledge that he's there. I don't care what number game this is. You need to be aware of the underneath players. This doesn't have to be on a line. You can just layer it over. Look at all this space. Layer it over him. Throw it here. Throw it here. Throw it out in front. Wait, you have time. Step up if you need to, but it has to be layered just on a line, and that's why he's able to get it. But you can see from the end zone view, linebacker does makes a nice athletic play of getting off the ground. But this needs to be a completion, and Lance would know that. And I think you can tell from Sherfield's reaction after that they know they missed one here. All right, so after 2 quarterback design runs in a row, 4th and 1, you are going to run just another bootleg. So Kittle's going to sneak out of the backfield again. Debo is going to be running the over route, and it's the same play. They've already run this play. And then Ayuk's going to do the same. He's going to run up, act like he's going to the corner, or act like he's going to the post, and then run to the corner. They both end up in the same position. So the read should go 1, 2, 3. Here's how it works out, or here's how it plays out, I should say. And I think this is where, in the future, moving forward, Lance needs to understand that singles are okay. Like right now, it's 4th and 1. He is not going to stop him from gaining 1 yard. No player is probably going to stop this guy from taking 1 yard. You'll be able to see it from the end zone view. And this, when I say singles are okay, like your eyes need to go here and acknowledge again. Let your playmakers do the work for you. Not everything needs to be a double or a home run. And that's what ends up happening. Yeah, just let Kittle make it, man. And if he ends up stopping Kittle from getting 1 yard, that's when you tip your cap. That's when you're like, all right, man, we thought we had one. We thought we had a good play, and it didn't work out. That's not what happens here. He ends up looking down the field to Debo. That ball is to Debo. I know it ends up going to Ayuk, but I think Lance just misses on this throw. The real issue isn't where the ball goes, or the real issue, I should say, isn't that he threw the ball to Kittle, or that he threw the ball to Debo, I should say. It's that right now. Like, as soon as you get your shoulders around it, you should be looking at this flat player. Get your eyes on Kittle right now. This dude runs a 4.5. The odds of a DB tackling him prior to gaining 1 yard, even if he makes contact with him, Kittle's probably going to fall forward. So just take the layup. Don't make it harder on yourself. That's what happened here. Rookie mistake. All right, so I mentioned when I was breaking down the Titans game, the mic will tell you where to throw the football. If he opens up this way, you want to go backside, knowing that you have one-on-one. So that's exactly what happens here. You're going to see Debo come open, but that's not where the ball should go because the defense will tell you where to go with the football. So what's going to happen here is Kittle's going to run up, and he's going to run a deep out, and that's covered, and that's fine. What happens is Lance is tempted to run, but he lets his playmakers do the work for him. So it's 3rd and 4. He ends up just finding Hasty on a check down, who picks up the first down. Doesn't seem like much, but instead of using his legs and taking an unnecessary hit, probably coming up short, he finds Hasty on a check down. So there's Kittle. They have good leverage on him. He would have to settle down, which is not the route. So that's not there. And what happens is Lance begins to run, looks like, or no, probably, I don't even know if that's running. It looks like he has to move because the right tackle did not play well by any stretch. Instead of taking off and running and, having to deal with perhaps him, the sticks are right here. So he has a long way to go. They have 1.5 yards. They're 1.5 yards away from the sticks. He's obviously not. He's 11 yards away? So he's not going to make this. This is a smart play. Finds Hasty. Let him do the work. First down. I know it would be very easy for Lance, who maybe he runs that 2 months ago. He definitely runs that 2 years ago. So we're seeing growth, maturation. There we go. First down. All right, this is when you're dealing with a special player. So let's check this out. This slot cornerback is going to act like he's blitzing. He's going to tell Lance what he's doing. Lance sees that. As soon as he sees him show the blitz, show that he's blitzing, Lance changes the play, cans the first play, goes to the second play. What does he do? Why is that important? So now that he's up at the line of scrimmage, Lance knows I have one-on-one with a safety and Debo freaking Samuel. I'm going to take that every day of the week. So he gets into the right play. It doesn't happen, like it's not a completion and it's not a first down. That's not what we're focused on here. We're not focused on results. We're focused on the process. As you can see, you will take that process every time. Is the ball like a little bit behind Debo? Yeah, of course. Should Debo catch this 10 out of 10 times? Yes, also true. The real issue, or the real success of this play is Lance is able to see the blitz, acknowledge the right play, getting his team into the right play. Yeah, I don't even know if that's, you can see his he's not watching the ball all the way, and that's just a pass that he has to catch. But a really, really impressive play just from a rookie quarterback to acknowledge, hey, there's a blitz coming. How do I beat it? I throw into it. I replace the blitz. Yeah, that's as good as it gets. That's what you want to see from your rookie right there. Incomplete pass, but again, right process. All right, it's 40-40, so they're in that shot play zone. Travis Benjamin's in the game. I wonder what's going to happen. So this is the play where Debo scores a touchdown, and there's a lot to like here. I think really what the big takeaway here is, and not so much the result, is just that Shanahan was uber aggressive when he got into this shot play territory, knowing that I'm going to take advantage of my quarterback strengths. And what are my quarterback strengths? Throwing the ball down the field. And I feel like that is going to open up the offense. And it did quite a bit on Sunday. So, I mean, I don't know what there is to say about that play that you haven't already heard. Here's what I really like about the play. So, notice when he throws the ball. Notice that he throws the ball away from the cornerback. It's a 40-plus yard throw, and that doesn't count. So he's outside of the numbers. On the other side of the 50, ball lands on the 11, outside the hash, onto the numbers. Just a rope. You'll notice that, I mean, it's kind of funny knowing that the cornerback who passes the underneath route off. You want to watch. So watch, I believe it's Desmond King. He's going to alert, hey, underneath. He's in no way is he thinking, oh, he's not going to throw this, man. What do you think? No shot he throws this. He doesn't even acknowledge the receiver. Oh, he threw it. Touchdown. You have to defend the whole field when Trey Lance is on the field. And that is a scary sight, knowing that they have weapons. Probably the most impressive part about this play. So the ball never leaves the screen. So it's a 45, 50-yard throw probably, knowing that it travels across the field, but the throw's on a rope. Man. Yes, please. Sign me up for more of that. All right, here is, I don't know if this was Kittle's only catch, but I know it was one of his few ones. So, explosive play, split the seams, split the safeties. Kittle acknowledged that it was the right read, perfect pass, one-hander down the middle. I mean, Kittle's awesome, so it's never really surprising that he makes these type of catches, but it is when it actually happens. Like, oh yeah, he is really freaking good at what he does. But I think the throw, knowing that you can challenge a safety, cover two. So outside release to the bottom, he shouldn't acknowledge that, but he does. So leaves you one-on-one. Again, you'll see it from the end zone view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ball's coming out. As soon as Kittle clears the linebackers, that's when the ball should be coming out. So again, the timing of these throws, the timing of this play, like it's on time, and that's the real takeaway from all these plays. Like, great throw, threads the needle, splits the safeties, great catch, but playing on time is far more sustainable, and that's why they'll be able to run these plays more. It looks like he's staring it down a bit, but okay, his head did move just a little bit. Not that it matters. And by the way, this is like Justin Reed. The 49ers should probably go after him this offseason. He's a good player, and he made a bunch of plays. There's no way, even if he doesn't, incidental contact, looks like he trips over Kittle's feet. Even if he stays on his feet, the ball is in a position where there's no chance that Reed can make that play. A perfect pass. All right, and then before I get out of here, so just want to show this run. It was called back, but they had a few runs where Lance was gaining, 5, 6, but the high leverage situation, so whether it's third and short, whether it's near the goal line, this is where I'd use Lance, just because there's going to be an extra person that you have to account for. I don't care if it's the Texans, Rams, Bucks, Cowboys, whoever the 49ers would potentially play in the playoffs, if they do make it. This play is going to look like that. When you run behind Trent Williams, when you have Kittle coming across the formation as your lead blocker, yes, Ayuk is unfortunate that he had a holding call in this play, but he's not even affecting the play, so there's no reason that Shanahan wouldn't go back to this. Just Lance in general. This was a lot more impressive when I watched the game back. You can't replicate what they did. So think about it. He hasn't gone against NFL defense outside of his own. He hasn't, been able to replicate the game speed. The Texans, as I mentioned, they are like a middle of the pack type of defense with veterans. They're fast. They're physical. Lance had 16 completions and 9 of them went for 10 or more yards. He had seven of those completions went for first downs. That doesn't include, I didn't show the plays where he ran out of sacks. And, even the 6-yard runs, it doesn't seem like much, but you're constantly staying ahead of the chains. I think if Shanahan just continues to trust him, lean on him more, let him get in a rhythm earlier in the game. That way we don't have to wait until the 2-minute drill for him to gain some confidence. And if those are the throws that he's going to miss in exchange for the deep bombs, you will take that every day of the week, though. So there's going to be variance. There's going to be mistakes, and that's going to be the case probably for a little while until Lance really figures it out. But, there's no doubt in my mind that he's going to figure it out, and this game will be a big reason why. Don't downplay that it was against the Texans. Think about the plays that he did make and how they are sustainable.